5-minute call on behalf of the Green Party. Marama
E te
Davidson.
mangai o te whare tēnā koe, huri noa ki a tātou oku koa hoa kaimahi o te pāremata tēnā tātou katoa. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Greens are standing every day to affirm our commitment and our relationship as a Te Tiriti party in a way that this government never has and never will. And I'm really pleased as the spokesperson for Māori development to be able to stand today and respond to the Prime Minister's statement and offer him ideas of how he could have filled it in to make sure that he was honouring Aotearoa and our relationship commitment to Te Tiriti. Mr. Speaker, I was very proud to announce our Te Reo in Schools plan and commitment a couple of weeks ago. I was not surprised, because we have been talking about this for some time, for years, to also hear the support of the New Zealand teachers, the largest teachers union, Te Reo, and also the New Zealand Federation principals come out in support, something that they know should have happened some time ago, something that they're happy to see, alongside the CEO of New Zealand Tourism, who understands that our reo rangatira is our point of difference and is our unique and amazing taonga that we have a responsibility to save and to nurture and put it back into the place, into the site that it was actually stolen from, which is the case of my grandmother, which is why it has taken my own family, my own whānau, 3 generations after her to put te reo back in. I'm also proud of the work of my colleague Jan Logie in leading in Parliament to call this government to account with its proposals to water down the priority of placing tamariki Māori in SIF's care with whānau, hapu and iwi Māori. Mr. Speaker, Jan Logie has raised questions to the Minister, to responsible ministers, has attended all of the meetings that she has been able to know about, and to be able to raise the voices like that of Paora Moyle, herself an ex-state care child, in upholding and raising awareness of the horrifying abuse that has taken place in the state institutions, and therefore wonders why on earth we are continuing with this colonisation tool of removing tamariki Māori from their whānau, especially when we know and have done for years upheld the practice of whāngai. To this very day, there are always Māori available if we do our jobs and provide the support to provide fantastic nurturing care for tamariki Māori. Mr. Speaker, I cannot go without mentioning my colleague Catherine Delahunty's leadership on the Public Works Act. A simple thing to do to prevent public works legislation from confiscating more and more Māori land. A piece of law that has been one of the largest tools of land alienation. A simple thing to do, something that the Greens are pushing for, something again that this government will not agree to. And we had Patricia Grace in here last week telling her incredible story of generosity, a common one for this whole nation, of her tupuna Wi Parata Te Kākākura and his amazing gifting of land to the government, to the Crown. And this has happened throughout our history. Generosity in the face of deep injustice. Mr. Speaker, I am proud to be standing with a party who are upholding our kaitiaki responsibilities for mokopuna, for whānau, for whenua and for reo rangatira. As kaitiaki, those are our responsibilities, and all of the things that I have just outlined are ways that we could uphold our commitment to Te Tiriti, and they are ways that this government is not even willing to discuss in most cases. This is why I'm proud to see growing support from Māori for the Green Party. This is why we have been able to put up the largest amount of candidates that we ever have to date. This is why the support from Māori electorates and Māori voters is at its highest to date, and we plan to continue to grow that because we back up our relationship and commitment to Te Tiriti with our work every day, whether it's standing with the communities and protecting their moana against deep-sea oil drilling or protecting Uhu Mātau from being developed and stolen
Sorry to
again.
interrupt the member, but
Thank
her
you,
time
Mr.
has
Speaker.
expired.